Coming through with the strength in you. Dun 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 dun. Coming through with the strength in you. Hey boo. Hey, coming through with the strength in you. What it do, what it do. Coming through with the strength in you. You made it. Good job. Strength in you. Coming through. Strength in you. Coming through. Hey boo.
Hey, woo, 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 woo. Happy Monday. I'm so glad that you're here. Before I even go into anything, you already know what I got to do. I got to bring the queen in on the scene, on the team, like, ow.
Hey,
Hey, girl,
happy
hey.
Monday.
Happy Monday. Let me start with I love the hair.
Thank you, baby.
Looking like the goddess. The goddess. See you. But without further ado, y'all, let me get our king in on the team. You know what I mean?
Woo! I'm feeling extraordinary today.
Good
I hope everybody's having
morning.
a I hope everybody's having a great Monday.
Oh, happy Monday, brother. And you are extraordinary. I feel extraordinary too. That is
I am.
amazing.
And I don't need somebody to tell me I'm extraordinary.
Oh, you still in your feelings? Pick
Listen,
them up.
A
I'm
little
so
bit, a
glad that
little
y'all
bit.
took the time to tune in with us this morning. Happy Monday. We in here. So he was throwing a little shade because our boo thought we weren't extraordinary this morning, but we had to remind her we coming through with extraordinary flavor. All of us is fly fine, stroke survivors coming through with the come through because it's the only way to get through. But yes, y'all, we here. We made it through the weekend. That was me being my crowd, and we were screaming.
That was something.
Hey, don't do me. We got a great show today while you set tripping.
No, we do.
We do. We got a really great show today. And I got some new things I want to try. Let's see how this works
Word
out.
of the day, don't wait, educate. The word of the day, don't wait, educate. The word of the day, don't wait, educate. The word of the day, don't wait, educate. The word.
He ain't no more word of the day. Hey, that's fine right there. The word of the day, don't wait, educate, because every day is an opportunity to learn something new, and new words come every day. I cannot stand him right now.
I was not ready for that.
I can't unhear that.
Yo, for real.
Good morning, Chris.
Oh my god.
So anyways, let's see how we think we say this word. I think it's eustress.
You stressed. Yeah.
Eustress.
Yeah, I think it's eustress. Let's find out, y'all. Let's find out together because we is here and I am happy and I'm about to not cuss out Junior for laughing at my.
I was not ready. I was not ready.
You weren't supposed to be. That's how I'm supposed to hit you with the whoa.
You hit me with the whoa. I felt like Black Rob.
Let's see, guys.
Eustress.
Eustress. I ain't hear y'all.
Eustress.
Stress. You stress.
Eustress.
Yeah. It looks like we only have one
Ugh.
definition today. So who want to kick it off? I'll read a sentence.
Wait a minute. What?
What is it? Moderate or normal psychological stress interpreted as being beneficial.
Hmm.
Hmm. Let me see here. A sentence. The challenge of my new job was stimulating and left me in a state of eustress.
Eustress.
Huh. Like
Can you?
it's the
During my
no. Go ahead.
during my college days, I always thrived under the eustress of final seasons.
It's like
Okay,
the
now look, we
opposite
got
of
to play with
stress.
this word. So what y'all feel about this word? Eustress.
It's different. I never heard it before, but it sounds like it's the opposite of like stress.
Yeah, to a
Or
degree. Good morning,
in a way.
Jennifer. We love you, honey.
Or like that last sentence was like thriving under the pressure, right?
Yes. Well, while your dog was back there yapping, I'm sorry, I was over here excited because Chris put up that good job, Joy. Don't wait, educate. It's in my head already. Ow. Man, I got skills.
Uh, I'm not knocking it. I
No.
just wasn't ready. That's all. The hell is wrong with the dog?
Look, that was dope. And for all those who missed it, I want to hit them with it one more
Word of
again.
the day, don't wait, educate.
Look, even your dog want to know it. You stress.
They're freaking out right now.
Don't wait, educate. Okay, let me try to make a sentence from this useless. So, do we need to see it again? I think I honestly need to see the definition one more time. I don't know about y'all, but I don't mind telling y'all that I feel like I really need to see this definition one more time. Eustress. Don't act like this now. Now want to take this long.
No.
It's taking us to whole nother places. Wait a minute. I took y'all to. I don't know where we at. Wait a minute. Stroke problems. Things happen for a reason. It lets you know that when life happens and you have to adapt to it, you smile about it and you keep it moving because we all make mistakes. So let's try that again. Okay, moderate or normal psychological stress interpreted as being beneficial. So basically, beneficial stress. Like
being backed up in a corner in a good way, I guess.
yeah, like I would say something like the stress. No, I can't say stresses. I would say the challenges. Yeah, the challenges of therapy. Um, Let me see the challenges of therapy. How would I say it? Is eustress to my recovery.
Yeah.
That's gonna work.
No, I was gonna say, like the challenges of work leave me in a useless kind of mood.
Okay. Wait. Yeah, no, that could work. How about you, Miss Courage? You got one for us?
I'm trying to see how I can
Good
put it.
word. I've never heard of it before.
This is a good one, guys. I encourage you to please put your comments, put your sentences in the comments so we can say them on live and we can eustress our vocabulary. I don't know if that one work, but I'm gonna keep working on it. And if you're tuning in and you're listening, I encourage you to go over to YouTube, guys, and subscribe to our channel. And also click that bell so you can get the notifications to know when we go live. And so you don't miss these word of the day every week because it is beneficial to learn new things. It is justress to learn new words weekly. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, calm down. I'll have what she's having. Yes.
Listen, don't overstress yourself, Courage. You can always put it in the comments. You can type in the comments too, honey, and let the people see your sentences throughout the show whenever it comes to you. So don't eustress about this word because that's not what you're supposed to do. But in the meantime, in between time, you got something for me?
No, I was talking a while ago and I was saying my sentence a while ago and it just I guess you didn't hear me.
You didn't come through.
It didn't come through. I'm sorry.
No, I said it was useless of trying to learn new things in a different way.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, it works. Good job. We got it, y'all. We got a sentence in. New word of the day is eustress. Beneficial stress, basically. That's what that means. So I got something else new for you. Let's see if I can make you smile.
Motivate to elevate. Motivate.
Yeah.
Let's try one again.
Motivate to elevate. Motivate. Motivate to elevate. Motivate.
It is motivation time, guys, and our
Yeah.
sir wisdom is about to hit us with some motivation.
And honestly, how can I follow that, right? Um,
Should have did the
I should have hit you with a figgy.
that's what you're missing, the Rick.
yeah, right. But honestly, being confronted with change and new opportunities is something that we all go through. We wake up every day with a new challenge, right?
Mhm.
And it's up to you to make that challenge a successful one or an unsuccessful one. The quote of the day is a really good one. I love it. It's by Victor E. Frankl. I almost said that right. But the quote is, when we are no longer in charge of a situation, including ourselves, we are challenged to change ourselves. Meaning, when we can't change given situation, whether it's your trauma or it's something that's out of your hands, it forces you to look introspectively, look inside yourself, and change maybe who you are as an individual moving forward. Um, this whole stroke has changed me and has put me in a eustress kind of mood where I thrive under. Hey, bring it all in, and
Yes.
I thrive under like my challenges I have to deal with every day. And it's forced me to change how I look at things and change how I take information in, right? Because I wasn't always so emotionally mature when I was younger, and just recently started to become a little more emotionally mature, and that has changed the way I do a lot of things in my life for the better. So if you feel like you can't change something or something's out of your grasp, maybe change that the way you look at everything and the way you look at everything moving forward, and those challenges become a lot more easier to handle. So that's the
Mm.
motivation time for today. Thank you.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thank you, King Wisdom, for the motivation. I can speak to that. It's facts.
What you?
What you what?
Mhm.
Do
Huh,
you change your mind? You said what you and
Mama?
then
I can't hear.
something
Can
going
you hear
on.
me?
I can hear you, but can you
Okay.
hear me? Can you hear us? Are
Yeah,
you
now.
good, Sir Wisdom?
Yo, it's probably something like communicate, like connection error, like
Probably.
that, like 2 weeks ago when you were on my show and you tried to do the Shuggies and Jokies and your whole segment got cut off. Maybe that's what's happening here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we back, so it's all good. Did you want to
Yeah.
say anything, though, Courage, before we move on, honey?
No, not right now. It'll come to me.
Okay. Well, let's get into a little history. I ain't make no song for that yet. It's coming. Hey, it's coming.
Back attention.
But I got my two flashcards. I got these from the urban intellectuals. The first one is the first black cowboy, and his name. They don't tell me yet. He just said the first black cowboys. One of the four of American cowboys were African American. Many of the slaves in the 17th and 18th centuries were familiar with herding cattle from homelands of West Africa. Federations of Black Cowboys maintain the legacies of Black cowboys in America. Hollywood gave little attention to Black cowboys who made their mark in Western history. Notable Black cowboys Bass Reeves and Ned Huddleston, aka Isom Dart, and William Bill Pickett. Those are the Black cowboys that they're talking about. So we're going to do a little more research on those people later and find out a little bit more about them. So that's going to come at a later time. But we did have some Black cowboys, y'all.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
So see, you learn something. We learned just all around the board today. I feel that. And then our next one, we're going to talk about, she's a queen, and her name is Maggie Lena Walker, born July 15, 1864, died December 15, 1934. And Miss Lena in 1903 founded St. Luke Penny Savings Bank in Richmond, Virginia. She was the first Black female bank president of any race to charter a bank in the United States. She served as a chairman of the board of directors with the bank when the bank merged with two other Richmond banks to become the Consolidated Bank and Trust Company. And she said, let us put our money together and let us use our money. Let us put our money out in Syria among ourselves and reap the benefits ourselves. Basically saying, put our money together, we can win together. Don't do things individual like we've been moving. And as you see, we ain't got nowhere doing something individually. So we need to come together. She was also a visionary who established a newspaper, the St. Luke Herd, to promote closer communication between businessmen and the public. And she received an honorary master's degree in Virginia Union University in 1925. And she was inducted into the Junior Achievement U.S. Business Hall of Fame in 2001. That is Miss Maggie Lena Walker, y'all. A queen. Yes. So everybody don't have to think the only way you can do things as a black person is through basketball or through entertainment purposes. Like open banks, put your money together. Let's come together and unify and make something greater. Yes. Okay. Lead me into our topic of the hour. I'm kind of excited about this one. The topic of the hour is plan of food, or if we want to say it in a nice way, self-sabotage. We all do it, done it, have done it, and still doing it because we still refuse to call a thing a thing. Before I go into my spiel about it, I'm going to give both of my other hosts an opportunity to kind of talk about their experiences with maybe plan of food or self-sabotaging. Who would like to take the reins?
Ladies first.
Miss Courage.
Well, you want me to go? It all depends if you consider yourself playing a fool
Why you say
in
that?
some situation.
Well, I guess if we're going to start with a question, maybe I should just go into what self-sabotage is, and then we'll just go from there. So we're not going to take it from my opinion or anything else. I got some actual stuff that I put up, and we're going to learn about self-sabotage and what it means and all that good stuff. I'm not going to read to you. I'm just going to tell you some little things. The beginner says self-sabotage arose with your self-esteem and your self-confidence, which affects your relationships with others. And what is self-sabotage exactly? And it's basically destructive behavior. When you knowingly do things that you shouldn't be doing. Like, okay, it implies a direct or deliberate involvement on the part of saboteur. So basically it's like knowing you should do something and putting it off over and over again, procrastinating about something. So it may not use that word being a fool, but that's kind of what it means.
Yeah, like to me, like real here, like with my drug use in the past, I knew I was self-sabotaging, right? I knew I was like making my life harder than it needed to be by some of the choices I was making health-wise, and it became a issue of self-sabotage. Like for instance, when I smoke cigarettes, and I got towards the end of that, I knew like it wasn't good for me, but it was like I couldn't stop until I did, and then I haven't smoked cigarettes since. But up until that point, it was a form of self sabotage.
Right.
Mm.
And I know, like for me, self sabotaging is not working out, knowing that my health is in jeopardy, and knowing that heart health is kind of one of the first thing for strokes. And if I don't work out, I'm sabotaging my own recovery. So that's me planning food. So that's what all of that means. So when it comes to, I guess, in that circle, how do you see yourself, or what can you say you've played a fool or self sabotaged your own life?
I would say learning diabetes. Instead of me just going and research everything about diabetes, I just listened to my doctor.
Mm.
I took it as, for example, like my doctor would tell me, you need to cut back on drinking soda, so pop. And so instead of me drinking soda, I would go get juice and then educate myself that juice is a riser. So I was literally raising my sugar every day by drinking juice.
So then it's fair to say, in that aspect, you played the fool. You knew
Yeah.
you weren't supposed to drink something, but you kept doing it. And why would you say you did? The whole moral is for us to understand, why do we self sabotage ourselves?
Well, I in that part I self sabotaged myself because I didn't take control. I knew that I was diagnosed with diabetes, but I didn't go further to educate myself. I
But
just listened to my doctor.
not even
So
along the
when
lines of that is you you still drink sugar knowing you're diabetic. So that's the meaning of self
but
sabotage.
what I'm saying is I was unaware. All she talked about was soda. So I'm thinking juice was a better than soda. Instead of me going to educate myself, some of the things that I had switched to, like eating, like I didn't think of pasta. I didn't know that the carbs would break down as sugar. So I'm saying I didn't take the on up to furthering myself, educating myself on what I could or couldn't eat. I didn't learn that until after my stroke.
So now that you've had your stroke and you've educated yourself, have you do you can you honestly say, because I know I honestly say, I can honestly say I still play food a lot. So I guess what I'm asking you is, now that you know what you know, can you honestly say you no longer play food, or do you still play food, and if so, why?
I still play the food and I didn't calm down a whole lot. Like soda, I can't even drink a can of soda without, like it just does something to me. I drink more water. As for sweet, sometimes I do have that craving. Like my body goes
Listen,
into the mood.
don't feel the need to defend yourself. We're not judging you, honey. This is not judgment hour. The question is
No,
just,
but I'm just
why do
saying
you
I
think
have
you do
some.
that? Is it just the craving that makes you do it?
Yes, but I also don't do how I used to do. That's
Okay,
what I'm saying. I
okay,
can eat like maybe two pieces of candy and I'm through.
okay. I know, like I said, we just trying to figure out why. So your answer is just because the craving is still there. You're human, basically.
Mhm.
Human nature
Yeah.
kicks in, and you want what you want. It just is what it is. So that's fine. I understand that. We all have that in
Mhm.
common. I guess I'm trying to show that these are things that we all deal with and we all suffer from. It's not just you, me. Wisdom is not limited to just one. Like, we all are human and we go through these things, but we don't call it out and say what is. You know what I'm saying? So how about you, King Wisdom?
To be real, we all go through what I do. I play a fool with like certain relationships that I'm in, right? Like I don't want to like I guess, cause a rip tide to happen when I can avoid it. So I try to avoid confrontations to things where I firmly believe the other way, right? We should do it this way. But in
Yeah.
order to not have a disagreement with somebody or cause a rift in the relationship, I play the fool and kind of subside to their way of thinking.
Okay, so you play food to kind of keep the peace in so many
Yeah.
words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can
And I
definitely.
do that a lot. I do it a lot. Where like I'm like by myself and I'm like, you really don't agree with that decision. So why didn't you put up with it? And I put up with it to keep the peace.
Yeah, that is really big right now that you even said that, because that is one of the biggest reasons that a lot of us self sabotage and play food for other people and for our health and for every other reason in the world. And it's because we want to keep the peace, but everything ain't meant to be at peace, because we got to remember everything that's worth having gonna be hard. So it's gonna be hard to have those upfront conversations to say, hey, I don't agree with XYZ, or I don't want this, or no, I don't need that, or whatever it is. But it takes practice. And I guess that's what I'm getting at too, because in my research, that word hit me so hard, and it was so funny because I know all of our seasons, that's one of the things and one of the words we always throw at people. Practice, practice. Everything in this world takes practice. Even self-sabotaging to correct that behavior, you have to understand that that's what you're doing. But see, we so afraid to call a thing because we so afraid of what somebody else is gonna say or think of us. But at the end of the day, it's really what we think of ourselves. When we self-sabotage, how many times are you happy with the decision you made afterwards? Do you pat
Not
yourself
really.
on the back?
I'm trying.
There's time. Yeah, there's times where I like, ugh, I feel disgusted with my decision. Really.
Yeah. And it's like I said, we can't get past these cycles that we keep repeating if don't nobody say what is. Stop being embarrassed and learn that we are all humans and we all fall short. And that's just the fact of what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, I've been self sabotaging my recovery this whole time because my arm is so hard to work on by myself that that is my first excuse is I need help. And it's not an excuse because it's true, but that don't mean it ain't nothing I can't do without help. So the stuff that I can do is the stuff that I should have been doing, and I haven't. And so now I've been calling myself out more and more to the point that I'm calling my people out too because I love y'all. And see, people who don't say nothing to me, that means they don't care about you because they're willing to watch you fall on your face over and over again and self sabotage your life because they don't want to see you better than them. That's something to think about.
Real talk.
Like real talk, if you got people around you that's watching you, legit self sabotage, and they ain't doing nothing. They ain't calling you out on it. They just in your face smiling, key key key. But they watching you be sad, adding to your depression. Every time you don't go for your goals, we get more and more depressed. I know I do.
Hmm.
I can only speak for me. But that's why y'all views are so important. Even the viewers, your comments are so important. Because you never know who is for you, who you hitting. I'm
That's
over here
real.
like, huh?
That's real. Like you don't know. Like my dad told me a million times. You don't know who's watching, right? So you don't know like how your actions are being taken by other people. So always do things the right way so nobody could say nothing. You know.
Hmm. And I just want to make sure I make it kind of known of what self sabotage looks like too. It's constantly speaking negative words into yourself. If you want something and you're always telling yourself, well, ain't no point in me doing it because it ain't gonna happen anyway, you self-sabotaging. Every time you throwing negative words in your life, you're self-sabotaging. Every time you don't try, it's self-sabotage. It's not just about the people in your life or playing food for things, if that makes sense.
Quitting before you start doing something is a form as well.
Say that one more time for me, please.
Quitting something before you start doing it is a form of self sabotage as well.
Mm.
Um, it's okay to fail if you try, but if you quit before you even try, you're kind of screwing yourself over. You're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yes. And some of the leading things that doing the research that I was finding that leads to self-sabotage is self-hate,
Mm,
self-doubt.
mm,
That's everything usually starts with self, low self-esteem.
mm.
And that's why those affirmations that we talked about last season is still important this season and for every other season in your life that's coming. That's why I appreciate my brother so much. Thank you, Wisdom. He sends affirmations every day to remind us of the value and the worth that's inside. And if you don't have that, you need somebody or you need yourself to remind yourself of your benefit and your value and your worth. And you have to stop self-sabotaging yourself by saying what you cannot do and focus on all the things that's possible. Write sticky notes to yourself
I used to do that. I still kind of do that every
and
once in a
stick them
while.
all around your house and everywhere. Wisdom
Or
say,
think that.
too many wisdoms here. I was looking confused.
I like your name. Good name.
I love you, boo. That's what's up. She dope too. Let me let y'all know. I don't even know everything about it because I can't follow everything she do, but she dope with it. She's a poet and she do motivational, inspirational stuff just like we do. And I always find her on Instagram because she done fell off the book a little bit, but she on here for me. I love you, honey. No, but go follow Wisdom on. Go follow her. She's dope artist.
Crazy that she's using blue hearts because I use blue hearts. Like
That's
when
her
it takes off,
signature.
Mm.
wisdom. I like it.
That's her signature. Go find her. She dope. Um, but yes, let's get back into it though, guys, because the whole point of this whole thing is to elevate. Remember, we're reminding each other of the beauty that's inside, and when you're down, ain't nowhere else to go but up, and that you are not defined by what happened to you. Like,
I'm gonna
go
vote right
follow her,
now.
guys. I am Wisdom on Insta. Get at her. You will not be disappointed. I promise you. I know y'all listening on iHeart and all. Go find I Am Wisdom on Instagram. Dope artist. But self-sabotage or playing the fool. See, we don't like to call things what they are because it hurt. And then that holds people accountable. And when you're accountable, that means you got to take responsibility. And we live in a world where that was weird. We live in a world where people don't like to take responsibility for what they do. What? What you mean? It ain't my fault. It's somebody else's fault that I act the way I act, or that I did what I did, or I said what I said, or I'm becoming who I'm becoming. That's not the facts. Not the facts. It's all on you.
I
But
take all.
go ahead, Miss Courage.
I say I take all mine.
You
Many
take
people
all your
might
what,
say.
boo?
I say many people might say that many people might say I'm this way. Many people might say I'm this way. Many people might say I'm that way. Some days I can't tell you which way I am. But my responsibility, sometimes I have to go back and I have to realize, hey, in my recovery, at the beginning, it was me. I did it all by myself. So now it's like when people try to tell me something, I be like, hold on, you can't tell me how to do me. I've been doing me for 5 years.
But now you made me think of something though. You
You
said you
know,
can't
so,
tell you how to do you. You've been doing you for
yeah.
5 years. But if you've been doing you for 5 years and some of it is self-sabotage, would you not want your friend or whoever is in your circle to call you out on your self-sabotage?
Yeah, but I don't want nobody to be like, now you want to have the time to come tell me something. Now you want to know you don't get that authority. When I needed it, it wasn't around. So it all depends on if they was there from the beginning.
But what about people being there for a season or for a reason? Because you know how some people not meant to be there at certain times when you think you need them. God placed people in your life when it's their time and their moment for you. So maybe when you was at the first beginning of it, you wasn't ready for what you think you were ready for. But now that your cognitive and everything is a little stronger than it was, then maybe those people, whoever's trying to come now, it's the season where God is like, it's your time to come in her life and tell her whatever it is you need to tell her, whatever that is.
Well, me and God are working on that part of me.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to. Well, I'm just being honest.
Oh my god. You said me and God are working out right now.
I'm,
Oh crap.
yeah, I say be real. I'm just being
No,
real. I mean,
no, you
Be
me
no,
and
real.
God relationship became close. So he know me and I know him, and he know he got to work on that part. He's still working on it.
okay.
And I can't see the work because I was the type I didn't let nobody in. If
Mm-hmm.
like strangers or even like the old me, even meeting you or Junior, I would have never took the initiative to even have a friendship with y'all. I would have said, I don't know y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why I say he's still working on me. You know.
Okay. That's fair.
And
Wisdom say,
it's kind of how I was brought raised.
hold on, courage. We say, wisdom said, people come into your life for a season, reason, or a lifetime. It's up to you to put each chapter with the correct book based on coordinates. Say what you said when you said how you said what you said because you said it. Forget y'all.
Why you always talking in like riddles?
I don't know because I'm dry.
I'm like trying to get what she said. I'm like,
Did you get it? Did
I had the that meme where like you see like the doo 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 doo
oh,
doo, and you. I'm like,
Mhm.
all right now. Well, I know for me, I'm just gonna say I know I play a fool and I want friends or circles to where they call me out on my foolishness and my stupidity and all of that because I don't want to self sabotage. I want to grow and get better. And the only way to do that is to be open to feedback from those that I care about. Now, everybody's opinion ain't gonna mean nothing to me because it just is what it is. But those that's worth it, I'm gonna take heed to because you got to know that you always have room for improvement. That's human nature. So, how about you, Wisdom?
uh, like I'm blessed to realize like I'm not perfect, right? We all have something we have to work on, and I can identify those things now better than I ever could before. Um, and that has a little bit to do with the people I associate myself with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of that has to do with who you surround yourself with, your environment, the people you allow into your inner circle.
Right.
My inner circle has changed dramatically over this last year. Um, and it went from a wide thing to like a more
Intimate.
concentrated, smaller circle, and it's a lot easier to deal with everybody's like shit, right? When you have a smaller group other than a big group, but when it comes to like self sabotage, I'm able to kind of realize now in the moment, okay, is this providing a benefit to my life or is this taking away from my life? And
Right.
I'm able to kind of like identify it and move forward and realize, okay, I have to work on that. So that's something I add to my little list. And every day I'm like continually trying to get better than how I was yesterday.
Yeah.
So as long
Um,
as I'm able to kind of move forward, I think we're good.
I think I know what courage is feeling. There is a quote. If you are absent during my struggle, don't expect to be present during my success. I can
Correct.
see that.
Yeah.
The way she said that, correct.
She
Correct.
did. She did. With some emphasis to the deepness came out of it, like correct. Like
Like correct. Like I mean.
We had to encourage outside the show. I feel like this ain't gonna know, you know. Did you not see me dead this weekend?
what? Okay. I don't know what happened there, but so
She got real quiet. She was like, "Shut up."
don't be alarmed if you've been self sabotaging your life all your life. Because some of the stuff is actually patterns and habits that was just passed down, and you don't even realize you're doing it. But you have to really
Yeah.
self-reflect. See, people don't really sit anymore, and we call it meditation, but it's really just self-reflection. You really analyzing what you've done, who you've done it to, what they've said, like just everything. And if you really pay attention, and you find yourself getting angry all the time, or it's hard to, you know, focus with that part, or you got some passive aggressive issues going on. You might be doing some self sabotaging and you're getting upset when somebody calling you out on it. And if that is the case, just start practicing other things like positive self talk and having self confidence to know that you can, even though you feel like you can't. When you feeling negative energies and negative entities starting to take hold of you, shake it off, as they used to say, shake the devil off, and tell them you ain't want to hear, and start speaking life into you because it ain't too late. Like it's just bad habits that we've learned and taught ourselves, but with practice. Over and over again and repetition. We know don't nobody like to repeat stuff. The older we get, the more we hate to repeat things. But with repetition comes greatness. You get better things, even if you fall a lot of times. Eventually, you learn when you fall not to let your head bounce. You catch it. You know what I'm saying? So everything just takes practice. But
I
so,
heard this quote by Denzel Washington, the
mhm,
actor, and he said, "When you're doing wrong, the devil usually doesn't mess with you because you're doing right by him, right? But when you're doing well, that's when you get attacked the most because you're doing something the devil doesn't want you to do, right?
yeah,
The devil wants you to mess up and self sabotage and think it's all your fault, and with guidance, a moment of reflection, belief in whatever you want to believe in, whatever works for you.
right.
Um, Make some time. I know on my Apple Watch every day I get reminded um, through my mindfulness app. There's like a little app that you have on your watch called mindfulness, and
Mm-hmm.
it allows you. It kind of gives you a little. Hey, by the way, you didn't do your breathing exercises today, and it allows me to kind of reflect on the day. And it only takes a minute of your time. It's not something that's really time consuming at
Yeah.
all. So I think it's very important in order for you to grow as a person to kind of take inventory and take stock of what you're going to do in your current life so that way you can make tomorrow a better day.
Absolutely. And you want to hold yourself accountable because you don't want to ruin your relationships with people like all around. And if you start finding all your relationships are just dissipating and things are going wrong in every relationship around you, you got to start to ask yourself, what's the common factor? Like, seriously. But you got to be willing to see yourself and call yourself out because it just is what it is. You don't want nobody else to say it to you. But I know people always say, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Then you tell them the truth and they mad as hell because you didn't tell them the truth. That's why it's important that you self-reflect so you can tell yourself the truth and you don't get mad when somebody call you out on your thing. And just practice whatever it is that's bad. Or I won't even say bad. I will say unhealthy habits. Those are unhealthy habits. And everything just takes practice. I don't know how to stress that to you no more. And always remember that if it's worth having, it's going to be hard. So you finding your best self and getting to that place you want to be, it's going to be a journey with a lot of this. If it came like this, none of us will be right here right now having this conversation. But we recognize that life is a roller coaster ride and you got to take the good with the bad. And self reflection is part of it. And it's a hard conversation that you got to have sometimes with yourself and call yourself out on it. It's unfortunate, but
Not easy. If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Really.
that, but that's what it takes for growth. And I learned people don't want to hear the word change. They like growth. So let's grow together. Let's start with stuff. That's how we change the world. People be like, you can't change the world. No, you can't. But if you start with yourself and everybody self-reflect, then if everybody self start acting different, what you think gonna happen to the world?
Mm-hmm.
It's a trickle effect. So I mean, I'm gonna tell you it is useless to keep working at growth for the betterment of yourself.
Look at you.
Yes, I know that it's not easy. You're gonna have some days where you're gonna cry. Get in the shower while you're crying. That way it can wash off the tears while you're crying. I do it all the time. It's all right. It's cleansing to your spirit, to your heart, and you remember what's important. You know what I mean?
To be honest, I had a good cry last night. I laid in my bed and I cried to myself. And I wasn't really like sad or anything. I just needed to cry, you know?
It's funny how sometimes you're not even sad. You can be watching a movie, and something will happen in that movie, and it'll hit something inside your soul, and it'll be like, I wonder what's wrong with me. But it's just
Like honestly, like the reason why I know it's like harder for like a guy to admit he cried, but it was like this life that we have is hard, and if we don't cry, like something's wrong with you, like really.
for real.
And yeah, it was just like I'm pretty positive. I surround myself with good people, and I have a great support system. But every once in a while, you just need to take inventory of what you have in your life and cry away the negative, right? It's a healthy way to kind of get over some of your stressors in your life, and instead of like being violent or doing other things that aren't going to be helpful or beneficial to your recovery, have a good cry.
For real. Like getting super high or hella drunk. Like real talk. When you sad, because that's what most people do. They go roll them a big fatty and they go get drunk or something like that, or they go whatever they go do. But all of that is self-sabotage. Even if you're going out here and you putting your thing in everybody or you sitting on top of everything, you know what I'm talking about sexually. Listen, if you out here like that, that's still a form of self-sabotage because you don't care about
Well, that's
yourself.
what I care.
Just throwing it out there and disease
Why
start running away.
why Joy look like why Courage look like that?
I don't know what she did. I don't know. I'm over here for real.
Sound everything she was like.
Because people have to understand that self sabotage comes in many, many forms. Procrastination, out here just having sex with random people, smoking and drinking your body of your life away, not exercising, not doing what you say you're gonna do. That people don't trust you anymore because you say you're gonna do something and repeatedly you don't do it. If you say you're gonna do something, you know you're gonna forget, put something in your schedule so you can remember it because that's a form of self-sabotage. Now people don't know if you're not reliable, you're not dependable, that they can't trust you. So I know you don't realize it's a form of self-sabotage,
That
but
would be me.
what you say, girl?
I said that would be me sometime.
Well, I'm gonna need you to stop self-time. Don't be self-sabotaging, but it's all true. Even if you sitting in there, right, and you know you're grown up, right, and you can't get it like that, but you got your digits or whatever. Do what's necessary for your body. That's self-sabotaging because that leads to people going out doing things and hurting people for real, for real. And I'm not even being funny. People have went and hurt people because they wasn't able to get what they needed. Sexually. You know what I'm saying? They had frustration. Get those things that's needing to be taken care of situated because all those things that allow you to hurt yourself or somebody else is all self-sabotage. So I encourage you to self-reflect and just pay attention to everything around you because usually the people and the energies around you kind of let you know if you're self-sabotaging or not. So if you pay attention, it'll speak to you. Let the universe speak to you, and I would just say do what's necessary. Remember that strength lives in you to get through everything you're going through. So even this self sabotaging thing, if you practice, 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 all your strength that you need is inside you. If you're a prayer, pray. Not telling you don't need your faith. Believe in everything you believe in and use that. But you also need you because faith without work is dead. But you got to believe in you. And that's part of your self esteem. So, Miss Courage, do you have anything you want to share with the people before I?
Not right now.
How about you, Sir Wisdom?
Um, Pretty much going off what you said, identify that you have a problem. I think that's the first step, right? Acknowledging that you have something to work on, and it's okay if you fail. It's okay if you mess up a couple of times. You're only human. You're not supposed to get it the first try every time. So, um, be okay with that. Accept that you're gonna go through it, and identify those problems and move forward. You know, you know, everything starts with a healthy mind, and I think if you have a healthy mind, it kind of bleeds through to like healthy relationships, healthy body, healthy everything. So take care of upstairs first, and that way you can easily more readily handle whatever you have to handle moving forward.
Right. I agree with that 100% because it all starts in the head and it starts in the heart because you got to have it in your heart to want to keep going and fight for yourself to even get it in your head, to read a book, to learn a new word of the day, to get a new quote. Like all these is little things that add up to monumental gains. But you got to start somewhere, and it's just being open enough to know that you have to start somewhere. If you find a perfect person out here, let me know because I ain't found them yet. With that being said, I guess what I'm saying is know that we all got something to work on. Don't think you're at a place to where, oh, I can do this now, so I should stop working on it. Don't never stop working on it because that's self sabotage. Because guess what? The older we get, the faster our muscles die off anyway. So you might as well just keep working them joints while you can work them mentally and physically. Because I know I'm feeling it at 40. I don't know about you, but this girl is hurting. So I encourage you to number one, self reflect more than you reflect on everybody else and what they doing. Don't worry about what's happening around you all the time. Look at what's inside you and what's going on in your immediate space. check you. You know what I'm saying? And do what's necessary to benefit you. If you're anything like you say you are, I know you want to grow. And the only way to grow is to be able to call yourself out on things. So don't procrastinate about your life. Follow your goals. Do the things you want to do, no matter how long it takes to get them done. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. It don't have to be for no major degree or nothing crazy. You want to take just some basic classes just to be educated. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Go to some support groups and meet some people and network and socialize. That'll help. Um, I encourage you to just step out of your comfort zone because that's a part of growth. Doing things that you've never done before, and that's just the beauty of it. I'm gonna say that always, as I tell you, when you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up. Um, the beauty of hard things is you learn how strong you are. You learn how tenacious and resilient you really are through adversity, and you learn what's meant for you and what's in your corner that's meant for you. So keep going forward. Don't give up on yourself, and don't let self sabotage. Don't let self sabotage be the thing that take you out because you've come too far to just keep getting your own way. Ain't nobody in your way. Be your biggest competition. Don't make everything else your competition. Be better than you was yesterday. Start somewhere. Is it? That's all. You may not be able to do as much as you did yesterday, or you may not be able to do as much as you do tomorrow. But as long as you start somewhere, you'll make it. You can't lose, and you will forever be successful. And as long as you come through with that strength in you, you can't lose. I believe in it, honey. That's what we do it with you.
I wanna give you your flowers, right? Because like you did a lot of heavy lifting today, but like there was times where I was just like listening, like the one of the last comments said Counselor Joy, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's a counselor, and I'm just listening. I'm like, yo, she's spinning cracks today. I'm like,
I appreciate you. That's a compliment. Because if I get the host on the show to be like, "What she say?"
no, you did a good job.
That's what's up. I appreciate you. But no, for real, y'all. Go ahead, Courage, honey.
I
I'm
said
sorry to hear
kudos. I said kudos.
that. Thank you, Sugarfoot. I appreciate you. But I want everybody to know, this is not, this show was not a dig to nobody. So know that we are not attacking you. We just want you to be the best you can be. And if we didn't love you, we wouldn't say. Keep that in your mind because if somebody is sitting around you, watching you, self sabotage, not saying nothing, they show you how much they care about you. They show you how much they want you to grow. They don't. So don't get mad when somebody's calling you out on what's going on. That just means they recognize something, they know you can be better, and they want that for you. Now you have to want it just as bad as they want it. So don't get mad about it. Communication is love. So that's how I'm gonna take that and leave that and tell you that you are beautiful. You are wonderfully made. Even through your sabotage, there is something you learn from it. So take it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between. Because all of it makes you who you are, and you are wonderfully made, perfectly imperfect. Yes. Let me see if I can try to use this word one more time before we leave with some motivation. Um, the conditions of your struggles is useless to your growth as a human being. I think I got it.
Yeah.
To say in
I
the
believe
grand
because
scheme of
like
things.
change, you
Huh?
got it. I was trying to sit up here and think like change could be estrus, eustress to like, and I couldn't finish it out.
Change
Yeah.
could
Me and Courage was tag team. What did you say, Courage?
A change to your life can be
Useless in the grand scheme of things.
Wait, say the sentence
Say
again.
it again,
Yo, changes can be very useless in the grand scheme of things.
Dope.
okay. Cause we see your hand moving, but I was like, okay, what happened?
I was like cutting it out, you know what I mean?
Good job, great sentence. But I want to thank all you guys for tuning in and watching this show. Don't forget to put that crown on. First of all, before you tune on, turn that light up. Get that lantern, turn that light up. Let that light radiate all over your body. Anything negative bouncing back and you ain't accepting nothing but positive and greatness. Know that you are loved, you are beautiful, and when you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up. And always come through with that strength in you to push through, because that's the only way to get through.
Coming
Until next
through
time,
you.
we love you.